shooting. Yeah, shooting. Yeah, shooting. Yeah, shooting shots.
Didn't even get to cross.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to round number 5 of the 2021 MotoOption Supercross Series. And Siebel back on the podium in Indy. For over a decade, the best riders in the world have met right here. This is the pinnacle of MX Simulator.
And he takes his teammate down!
To win, it takes dedication, skill, grit, and desire.
Leclerc underneath of him puts him up.
This is the battleground. It all starts right here, right now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to MotoOption Supercross. From Tampa, Florida, riding for Moto Playground, number 14, Tyler Lane.
I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want, so I'll take it on. I've made mistakes, but mistakes make you strong. Let's break it down for a minute.
From Lake Havasu City, Arizona, riding for MV Films, number 20, Jeremy Cohenauer.
I be chillin' with the gang. Through this blood sucker.
From Portland, Oregon, riding for BPC, number 21, Chase Blakely.
Boy, you should keep it space. H block, this is not your place. Bro, this pump your ass like a balloon. Wanna play around, I bet you lose. Sit your ass down, don't move. Gelati, yeah, we running with the toes. Shot it like to sip up on the goose. White girl got me feeling like a loon. Looney Tune, we running with the loop. My gun is my just running.
From Orlando, Florida, riding for atom.com, number 17, Adam Holmes. From Los Angeles, California, riding for Moto Playground, 2019 250 East Champion, number 26, Isaiah Dickerson. From Costa Mesa, California, riding for SwapMotoLive.com, 2020 250 West Champion, number 19, Braden Carter.
Never gonna stop, never gonna stop. Going to the top, Kobe with the shot. Cooking like a pot, I see this shit. Popping like a kernel, I was never taught. CBA, never said, I've been on my grind for 7 days. Need a race, swear to God I'll never be the same. TBH, TBH, yeah, CBA, never said, I've been on my grind for 7 days. Need a race, swear to God I'll never be the same. TBH, TBH, yeah, she tell me just do it cause I'm
From Peachtree City, Georgia, riding for Panini Motorsports Underground RC, number 6, Colton Mitchell. From Picardy, France, riding for AJ Originals, 2018 Supercross Champion, number 7, Alexis Leclerc. From El Paso, Texas, riding for Jack Daniels Racing, 2019 Supercross Champion, Number 2, Jack Haley.
No matter who you are, now our future is gone. Monsters recreated all around. We have to survive now. Sunshine is gone. What's left of the world live under the ground. But through the golden sea, we see the dawn. We'll fight like the devil.
Tell her pull up to the villa. My shit ain't really, she realize I'm on a mic, it's a thriller. Walk on the cook, call me Kimba. I might kill our shit, yeah. I might read our shit.
From Warner Robins, Georgia, riding for Panini Motorsports Underground RC, your defending Supercross champion, number 1, Jeremy Siebel. On my phone, running up, I keep it low. Getting money, brody, she never told. No sticking so mad, I'ma go. But the whole fuck us have fun. You know, I cannot phone on basic call. I tell the shorty to rake it on. All I hear is shit facing on. How in the coupe, I race it on. Bad little bitch in the car. Shorty's recording noise. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to round 8 of the 2021 MotoOption Supercross Series live here on Start Your Systems. My name is Kellen Brower, bringing you guys the action from the second Orlando round, but this is also the first round of the 250 SX West Championship here tonight. That's right, we are putting those East guys to bed for a little bit and bringing out the 250 West guys, so there's going to be a lot of storylines to follow tonight, nonetheless of which, though, this 450 class has quite the championship building up, and we're going to get into all of that. Real quick before we do that, let's go ahead and take a look at our season schedule so we get an idea of where we are at right now currently at the 8th round of the series here in Orlando, Florida. The second Orlando, but the first West round here on February 24th. Next week we'll be at Daytona International Speedway for the 9th round, and obviously starting kind of that second half of the season swing going on from there. March 10th will be in Arlington for that 3-week swing in Arlington, and then the 3-week swing in Atlanta before those 2 rounds to end the season in Salt Lake City. And pretty much from here until we get all the way to Salt Lake City in April, we're with these West guys now. So a whole new batch of fresh faces to watch for here tonight, and it's going to be very, very interesting to watch, no doubt about it. Now let's actually take a look at some of the storylines here tonight. First of all, this 450 class will get a refresh of qualifying real quick here. 450 class, it looks like Jack Haley has qualified fastest tonight on a 55.8, Walter Gebhardt on a 55.9, Colby Eagland, Leclerc, and Carter up here in the mix. Now, Eagland, of course, is your defending 250 East Series champion and current points leader in the 250 East class. So we're going to see some guys jumping up from that East division and racing here tonight, like Colby Eagland, but then you can see all the other runners going through the field here. Now, here is the storyline of the night, perhaps. All these 250 West guys that we're going to be seeing on the track. Remember, Payson Johnson, very controversial, was banned 5 weeks after essentially manipulating the results at round 2 when he was about to win the 450 main event and pulled off to the side of the track. He is back tonight racing this 250 West division. He qualifies fastest by over a second on Jaden Wilson, Bryce Whelan, Tyron Tomich, and Tanner Rogers inside of the top 5. And we're going to get familiar with a lot of these names all the way down through the list. But like I said, this 450 championship is something else right now. Alexis Leclerc had an awful last round in Orlando 1 and now sits just 5 points ahead of Tyler Lang and 6 points ahead of Brayton Carter. A further 18 points from Leclerc is Jack Haley, but 18 points right now are the only points separating your top 4 in this championship, and it is heating up very quickly. Lang still does not have a win this year. Carter picking up his second win of the season last week. Haley obviously has 2 wins, and Leclerc also getting in there with a win. So we're going to see some interesting dynamics as this championship shifts into the mid-half of the midway point of the season. At the halfway point, we'll be at Daytona next week at the halfway point. And with this close of a championship picture, you're going to start seeing some real interesting racing and drama unfolding right before our eyes. So let's go ahead and jump in the server and take a look at what's going on in here, as we are going to get lined up for that 250 West heat race number 1, the first heat race of the season coming up right now. And for those of you wondering, this is not Orlando 2 from real life. They had already built the Orlando 2 track that was going to be raced in real life, so that's why the track that you're looking at right now is a little bit different than what we saw in real life. I talked to President at Race Factor Gaming, Jeremy Cohenauer, about this and asked, were you going to leave the track somewhat similar from Orlando 1 to Orlando 2? He said that they debated it several times back and forth within the, their chat and kind of building the track out, and ultimately settled on the fact that they already had this track made. It was already built. They already put the time and effort into it. So why not race it? Give these guys something different. In real life, obviously, they didn't get a chance to do that because of the inclement weather in Florida, making it so the track changes. It couldn't set the track, so they couldn't change too much on the track. So unfortunately, it's not exactly the replica Orlando 2 Supercross, but it's still cool that we're going to see a completely different racetrack with these guys racing on it here tonight. And going to be interesting to see what these 250 West guys do right now. Remember, top 9 go through to the main event out of this one. All the others going to that last chance qualifier. And this 250 class has a lot of guys signed up trying to race in this West division. So we're going to see some really interesting battles throughout the field, because you might see some guys normally that could run right up at the front, instead having to fight their way into a transfer spot on a close call here or there. So getting ready to go racing here. First gate drop of the year coming up in this 250 West division. Trevor Burns, Zoe Cross, Seth Carr, Lois Gorin, Trent Adams, and Payson Johnson all going to be in this one. Jake Kazarian, Brandon Nygren, Alex Heckman, Bryce Whelan, Cooper Hunt. We'll probably key in here on Payson Johnson when they load in. Looks like 292. That is Alex Heckman is timing out. Yeah, looks like Heckman might be timing out here, unfortunately. Timing out of the server is essentially when your internet crashes, it gives you a chance for your internet to catch up and load back into the server before it completely boots you out of the server before a race, which just happened. Alex Heckman looks like he just got booted. Unfortunately for Race Factor Gaming Competition, that is a mechanical DNF for this race, so Heckman not getting into this one. But we're set to go. First 250 West Heat Race of the year, set to go right now on SYS. A whole bunch of fresh faces into this first corner. It's going to be the 8 and 502 making contact in the first corner. Daniel Paz, the privateer effort, gets the hole shot. He pushed Payson Johnson wide and immediately goes over the bars and takes a couple riders with him. That is going to move Lane Wofford on the West FX number 181 into the race lead here. Brandon Nygren moves up in a second on that number 150. Atom.com looking like Seth Hammaker out here. Let's see if he can lead the first lap of the season just like Hammaker did. He's trying to go up the inside here on Wofford at the end of the whoops, and he's going to actually make the pass down the inside. So how about that? Just like in real life, the number 150 machine, this time on the Atom.com Kawasaki, is going to lead the first lap of the 250 West season over the finish line jump. And he's got Wofford right behind him. Zoe Cross on the SwapMotoLive.com number 27. He is a name that we'll be looking into this season as a guy that can contend perhaps for this championship. Goes to the outside option here, trying to get around Wofford as well. He is going to go up in the second spot. A nice move there for him. And let's see, as he gets this 2-3-3 option. Yes, he does. And then they'll try to quad out off this table. Everybody getting through that pretty smoothly. I think this inside line in the split's probably going to be pretty gangbusters there, and those guys actually jumping inside to outside there. So Zoe Cross already going after race leader Brandon Nygren out here. These two guys already opening up a bit of a gap. Currently, it looks like Payson Johnson has dropped down the field a little ways. He is listed in 16th spot at the end of the first lap. So he has got a ways to go after that first turn crash. Your reigning 250 national champion. Nygren under heavy attack here. Here comes Cross up the inside looking for a move. He's going to back out of the challenge. We got a fight on our hands here for the race lead as they enter this whoop section. Different lines on the first lap as Nygren went inside to defend, but this time he is going to go outside, triple over, then outside, step on, step off. You're going to see a lot of different lines in that corner as it develops throughout the night, and we see those ruts kind of wearing. You really want to get this 2-3-3 cleanly. Get that quad out. It's going to be crucial tonight. Here's Cross. He's going to try an outside line. Actually, both go outside, so I wonder if they just maybe misjudged that a little bit. And cross up the inside, trying to show a wheel. There's contact, and they're both going to hit each other and go down. Race leaders down, and that's going to allow Lois Gorin into the race lead on the motorsport.com. Number 107, he has Wofford still right behind him. Now Bryce Whelan moves up into the 3 ride. Jack Fowler up into 4th, and Zoe Cross gets up still in 5th. So contact with our race leaders. And a bit of drama here early on in this 250 West campaign. We got Seth Carr in 6th, a little takeout action there. Someone just got lit up. It was Trent Adams on the Team Nami 44 getting sent over a berm there. He is going to rejoin just alongside there of the 35 of Roy Mitchell on the Jack Daniels Racing machine. I also saw Payson Johnson. There he is actually onto our screen now, the Panini Motorsports number 8 ride. Looks like he is either just in transfer or hovering just outside of transfer right now. Race leader... Oh, actually, another crash there for Cross, and that's going to move Johnson up to 8th, and almost through the bars there. Jack Fowler, I believe it is, on the 704 on the inside, going to have to roll, so Johnson just got his way into a transfer spot, and then Kevin Gonzalez hits the deck on the 31. So we are having a lot of problems with these 250 guys. So Cross, another mistake. Payson Johnson, after that early crash, is just flying through the field right now, catching a big group of guys here. Nygren getting passed up there by Seth Carr. Got kind of dualies over the triple with Johnson trying to split them all to go to the outside here. And Nygren's going to run him high, but Johnson's going to try to get a drive in the whoops to catch up to Seth Carr. And, oh my goodness, Seth Carr was going down that entire way. Then clips Payson Johnson's rear wheel and finally hits the deck. We got more riders. Looks like Fowler and perhaps Adams down in the background again on the Team Nami 44. So lots of chaos going on. Unbeknownst to them, up front, we have a change for the lead. Bryce Whelan has gone to the race lead, and I apologize that I don't have many of these guys as skins. I think maybe some of these West guys forgot to post in the skins thread. I got everything that was in the skins thread, and people love to DM me skins, which is great, but sometimes I miss them, so I apologize if I did miss a couple of those skins. But that's why you're seeing all these KTMs out front. I just do not have the skins for them. Pretty much everybody in this 250 division runs the KTM dyno. For those of you that are new to MX Simulator racing in general, you can pretty much use whatever bike dyno you want in the game. This is the 2018 250 KTM dyno, and that's why when it's default model, it just appears as the KTM to me. But then you can put whatever skin or bike you want on top of it. So if you want to load a gas onto the KTM dyno, you can easily do that. If you want to load a Yamaha onto the KTM dyno, you can easily do that. Just have to have the proper JM files and all that. So that's why you're seeing the base bike that most of these guys are riding. Just don't happen to have their full skins. So it continues to be Bryce Whelan out front. Here's Tanner Rogers. He is up into 3rd, and Johnson, all the way from outside of the top 15 early on in this race, has moved into 4th. And perhaps giving us a little bit of a taste of what's to come tonight, but he's going to go down. Got a little bit crossed up there, landed sideways and hit the deck. So back to 5th. Now goes by into 6th. And here comes Roy Mitchell. But Johnson will hold on to the 6th spot. So Zoe Cross was able to get back by. And it looks like, will time expire? No, these guys still will have 2 more laps to go this time by. How about Lane Wofford? Not giving this guy enough credit. Early race leader on the westfx.com, number 181. Getting a little sideways in the whoops there, but a nice save. Getting crossed up a little bit there. That was close. Tanner Rogers trying to square back off to the outside in. But I like Wofford's effort here. Just very smooth and consistent. Isn't putting together a race-winning speed out there. But, oh, and just as I say that, he hits the deck. A little bit of a case on that triple there and an instant fall off. Bummer for him, but he will get going still well inside of a transfer spot. Bryce Whelan, though, the rider out of Canada on that number 25 ride. Lapping Jack Fowler, and oh my gosh, Bryce Whelan. I got a tip earlier. I'm in a chat with our team rider Alex Heckman, who we saw time out of the server in this race, and he says that the whoops were a bit chaotic, and I'm guessing he's talking about that set that we just saw Bryce Whelan getting sideways in, so maybe that's going to be a point to watch all night long, is that first, I guess, set of whoops is what you you'd call it, because it's the first set that they hit on the first lap of the race. 2 sets of whoops this week, and they're both fairly long. We've seen very short sets of whoops this year for the most part, but these sets seem to have a pretty long run to them. Oh, wheeling a little bit long on the second triple there. Got little Jimmy Albertson inside of him. Here he goes through the whoops one last time, though, on the final lap. Tanner Rogers is trying to close down here at the end, but looks like Bryce Whelan is smooth sailing at the front. And first 250 West heat race of the year going to go to Bryce Whelan as he takes the victory. And a nicely managed race at that. Tanner Rogers will pick up second in this one. It's Trevor Burns in third. Payson Johnson, his teammate, will follow him home in fourth. Lane Wofford drops back to fifth. Roy Mitchell sixth. Zoe Cross seventh. Brandon Nygren in 8th, and Seth Carr is currently holding down 9th and looks to be A-okay as Daniel Paz, the man who got that hole shot and immediately crashed, is a little bit too far back. Seth Carr just has to navigate the whoops cleanly here, and he should be good. There it is, and down the start straight he comes, taking his underground RC number 347 to the main event in Orlando. Daniel Paz will head to that last chance qualifier with Cooper Hunt. Trent Adams just went by. Kevin Gonzalez, Elliot Person, Lois Gorin, Robert Wilson, Jack Fowler, Jeremy Estrella, Jake Kazarian, and Alex Heckman, of course, who did not start this race. All those riders will be headed to the last chance qualifier. Waiting on Gorin across the line, looks like. And there we go. Cuts are in. And everything stayed the same. Bryce Whelan, 250 West Heat 1 winner on the number 25. Again, I wish I had his skins. I apologize for that, folks. We'll zoom in nice on his gear set. Monster Energy Alpine Stars helmet, Alpine Stars gear. Looking nice and fresh. Great to have all you guys in chat with us here tonight. Another strong amount of people here tonight. I'm glad to see that we're 8 rounds deep into the season. I know it's the first round of the 250 West campaign, but love how many of you guys are showing up to these broadcasts each week, getting involved in the chat, hanging out, talking moto, talking sim racing. It's always a pleasure to stream to a larger audience of any kind, but really an interactive one, and you guys are always really good in the chat, so nice to see you guys all tonight. Always love giving a shout out. We got Brady White, Eastern Snowboarder. We got August Sanders up in here. Celebrities even showing up. Travis Marks, good to see you again, buddy. Lachlan Smith. We got the Reed 34. Heckman, he came in here after lagging out in the heat race there. We got MyHX, Logan Hartman, Julie Schaefer, William Snow 417, Tanner Curtis. Ride Moto is in here. Ride for Life. Hayden Boyd. And I somehow made it in for a parade lap, which I almost never do. So this is just a parade lap. This is not the actual heat race, so I have to hold off there for a second. We got KLX Sun, Elijah Marsh, Ethan. Oh, Andy Hack is up in here. OG, Brady 54. We already saw Logan Hartman. Brandon Austin's here. Patrick Lewis, Hayes BB, Red Racer 13, Chucky Nygren. Anoxia, I believe that's how you say that name. MFFL. Jeff Layden. Andrew Flexen. Good to see you guys all. Shout out Dustin Peterson. Says, what up, Kellen? $5 donation. Appreciate that, buddy. That is very, very thoughtful of you. And I also missed out Agris6No with the €10 donation at the beginning of the stream. Agris is always up in here making donations. Appreciate that, dude. You guys are the absolute bomb for those donations every week, coming in hot and heavy. I do not require that you guys donate or pay for this broadcast, but it's still very, very nice when you guys elect to donate and share either a quick story or just say what up like Dustin did here. Like I said, very, very nice. Oh, Julie Schaefer's real name is Mark. I'm so confused. All right, second 250 West heat race of the year coming up. Gonna see a lot of names in this one. Who have we got? We have got, Holy smokes. William St. Laurent, Devin Davis, Tristan Powell, Alex Kerr, Kevin Ferzaka, Caden Speck, Luca Schwertner, Dylan Smith, Ethan Gerst, Jaden Wilson, Frank Jackson, Seth Crotty, John Heilman, Alex Helms, Tyron Tomic, Neil Fitzpatrick, Dylan Cavacuti, Neil Wells, Braden Tharp, Michael Mudge, and that's all of them. Here we go, 250 West Heat 2 in Orlando. Drag race. The 65 makes contact with the 59 and pushes him wide. That's going to be Jaden Wilson on this newly formed Covenant team. The 65 getting out front. Jumps off the track a little bit, but maintains the race lead. It's John Heilman up into the 2 spot on the 73. Frank Jackson, getting cranked on the triple. First lap of the race, lots of riders going down in the first rhythm lane. It's kind of allowed the front 3 to open up a bit of a gap from the rest of the field, but it's Jaden Wilson, the 65 ride out front. We got a pass for second already. Frank Jackson up the inside of the 73 of John Heilman. Heilman laid it down at the end of the whoops, and they will continue on with their battle. Interesting to see all these 250 guys going outside to get that triple and then jumping on off the table. It seems to be the preferred line, but man, you leave the door wide open in both of those corners for someone to sneak up the inside and make a pass. Heilman is going to go up the inside and get back around Frank Jackson. Seems like these guys are also having a tough time getting stopped after quadding into the inside there. So perhaps that's why we saw a couple riders go to the outside or even cross over the split lane. Like Frank Jackson was having like a bit of lag there for a second. But he's all good. Michael Mudge is up in the 4 spot. He's got Caden Speck right behind him. And a little sideways for Mudge. These whoops are killing people tonight, and Mudge is going to go down at the end of the whoops here and will lose a transfer spot with that pass right there. Ethan Gerst, I believe, just went up into the final transfer spot. Alex Kerr also up here battling with Kevin Ferzaka, Neil Fitzpatrick, and Caden Speck just went off the track and went down. So a lot of mistakes early on in this 250 West class. I wonder if this is going to be a sign of things to come here tonight. Who can make the least amount of mistakes, keep it on 2 wheels? Going to be a big deal. So Speck drops back to the 8 spot and goes down again. And there goes Mudge and the 94 of Dylan Cavacuti. Mudge just went down, so Cavacuti goes up into 8th. And now Mudge getting back up. He is still in 9th, but a little mistake right there. Going to allow Caden Speck to at least keep it close. We got Devin Davis back here and Tyron Tomic just getting in from off the track. Tomic on that Connect Visual number 41. I think, yeah, that's a Honda. Dude, it is, honestly, from afar, it is a little tough to decipher the Gas and Honda models in this game. But that's a Honda. Just a 21 Honda, but not a 450. Obviously, he's using that KTM dyno and using a 250F skin on the 450 Honda. Not uncommon to see that at all. There was a while there where people were still using the 250F Yamaha as a 450 in this game, but that was like back in 2012, 2013-ish. Tomic goes down, and Davis is going to go by. I think that is just for 10th, though, right now. Actually, 11th, I should say. So these guys all trying to fight their way forward. Meanwhile, up front, Jaden Wilson continues to lead the race. Has opened up a nice lead on Neil Fitzpatrick, Frank Jackson, Alex Kerr. We got a freight train through the whoops. Man, those guys are getting kicked sideways right there. Ethan Gerst getting passed up by Kevin Ferzaka. And the 73 of John Heilman also trying to get up into the mix. So through the whoops they go. Again, outside option here for Heilman. And that shows you kind of the difference of going outside. Oh, the 47 of Frank Jackson was off the track. So that cost him probably like 4 positions. He was up in 3rd. I think he just went back to, yeah, he's back in 7th now. And up the inside, Jackson goes. That right there just showed you that's an illustration of how much better that inside is, but it's harder to triple in right there. Ethan Gerst just went down. He's going to crash back out of this battle. Oh, careful on that tracker entry. Caden Speck just jumping over top of him. And we got Devin Davis. I think Davis just moved up into that final transfer spot back here. He's right ahead of Michael Mudge. And Davis, if you remember, just by the skin of his teeth, several times this year made it into the 450 main events. I think it was a stat there for a little while where he made it in 5 out of the 6 LCQs to the 7th round of the season or something like that. Oh, Mudge absolutely destroys Tyron Tomic, who just flips over the berm and lands on 2 wheels. Not sure if there was something that preluded that, but man, Michael Mudge taking no prisoners, sending Tyron Tomic to the moon right there. Fortunately, those Davalos bales kept him in check a little bit, and somehow he did not fall off the bike, but he did allow Dylan Smith and Dylan Cavacuti by, so a couple of Dylans going through. And still Devin Davis in his final transfer spot. Rider off the track. That was Speck. Speck having some problems here, and that is another off-track excursion for Speck, and here's going to be another one, so got to watch out for cuts. He's getting jumped over top of right now. 94 up the inside. There's going to be contact, and Speck has to try to square off. So Cavacuti goes into, I believe, the final transfer spot, but then goes down, and Speck goes right back through. So these guys having a frantic battle back here while Jaden Wilson out front. Just cruising away right now with the race lead. Look at that line. Speck inside and then jump the double single to the inside. Look, I mean, he just closed up a lot of time right there on Devin Davis. Oh, a little short there, so has to go over the table, double out. P8 right now for Caden Speck, I should say. So this is your battle for 7th with Devin Davis in front of him, and he is going to jump by him, but then jump across his nose, and that was a little bit close right there. White flag is in the air for your race leader. We'll go back to that final transfer spot for just a quick second and see that Dylan Cavacuti is still back here, but here comes Tyron Tomic, and he's bringing Braden Tharp on the MXS Magazine KTM. That's a name that I personally have not seen around here, so good to see some fresh faces up here. And whoa, Tomic down in the whoops, and he's going to take Tharp with him over the bars. Oh, what a bummer. 2 guys that were maybe on the verge of sneaking into this main event. Now going to have a big uphill battle in this last lap. Meanwhile, entering the whoops on the last lap of the race. Didn't talk about him much in this one, but Jaden Wilson, basically a gate drop to flags win here. Little wheelie down the start straight and kicking off his season strong. Jaden Wilson wins 250 West, heat number 2. Here in Orlando. Alex Kerr has moved up into the 2 spot as Fitzpatrick has dropped behind him into 3rd. Ethan Gerst looks like he's got 4th pretty much on lock. Frank Jackson's still right there. Kevin Frzaka back here in the 6th spot. Devin Davis is in 7th. Caden Speck in 8th, and Cavacuti is in 9th, and mostly alone. John Heilman trying to catch up. He's got the 131 of Seth Crotty right behind him. Crotty's going to jump up the inside, but this is a pass that's mostly useless unless Cavacuti went down, which he does not. So Dylan Cavacuti stamps the final ticket to the main event out of this heat race and will be in the main event for the first one of the season. Oh, okay. Seth Crotty was trying to keep John Heilman behind him, and Heilman just hops over the bales and takes him down. That might have been stemming back to Crotty running Heilman a little bit wide there in the corner a couple before that. So Tomic ends up getting 10th. That'll be first gate pick in the LCQ. Cavacuti, Speck, Davis, Frzaka, Jackson, Gerst, Fitzpatrick, Kerr, and Wilson going through out of this one. Jaden Wilson and his Covenant machine going to the main event tonight in Orlando with that heat race victory. Nice machine here. First time I've got to look at these Covenant bikes. I will say I'm not a fan of the cow gear, but it is what it is. Okay, so 250 West action done for the time being. Now it's time for the 450 guys for their heat races. 2 heat races, top 9 transfer. You guys get the gist of that. But this first 450 heat race is going to be sponsored tonight by Racetech Suspension. Racetech is an industry leader in suspension components and service. Racetech has been a huge supporter of Race Factory from the beginning, providing a ton of prizing for Race Factory's competitors. Racetech is your place to go for all your suspension and engine needs. Thank you, Racetech, for your continued support of MotoOption Supercross. And they bring you 450 heat number 1. With many storylines to follow in this one, Tyler Lang only 5 points back of Alexis Leclerc, Braden Carter only 6 points back, and Jack Haley further back of them, but still definitely within striking distance of this championship, 18 points down of Leclerc. So 18 points separating those top 4 in the championship. And we have seen a myriad of things happen this year with riders not making the main events. Braden Carter has not made a main, Jack Haley has not made a main. And just last week, Alexis Leclerc had an awful main event in which he finished up 13th after almost going a lap down in the very beginning of the race and then eventually being lapped by eventual race winner Braden Carter. So boy, oh boy, going to be interesting to see how this all pans out. Shout out to Devin Davis, says, let's go! The server was slow-mo for like 2 laps of the heat race, by the way. Yeah, I thought I had saw, we were looking at Frank Jackson, I think it was, and I thought that he had a lag issue, but it did just look like the server kind of slow-mode, so I didn't quite latch onto that, but looks like we got some heavy hitters in this one. Seabolt, he's still looking for his first win of the season. Jack Haley's up in here. There's Leclerc with the red plate still, and these two oddly have some sort of strange beef brewing between them, so we're going to see how that plays out. By the way, shout out to Ride Moto for the $4.99 donation. Says, got you on in the background prepping the bike for this weekend's District 36 cross-country race. Keep up the good work, Kellen, and good luck, Ride Moto, for your District 36 cross-country race. Hopefully the bike makes it through in one piece and you yourself have a fabulous time racing. Ooh, man, this is a star-studded heat race lineup. Looks like of our championship contenders, only Braden Carter will be in that second heat. Lang, Leclerc, Haley, and your defending champion Seabolt all in this one and all pretty much up the inside. Leclerc's going to be middle. It's 450 heat 1 right now. Leclerc, corner first, controls the inside. And your race, or your points leader, Alexis Leclerc, actually gets that whole shot on the AJ Originals. Triple quad, big lines. Leclerc busting him out on the first lap of the race. Had a feeling these 450 guys could do that. I in practice earlier today, I tried it and got pretty dang close. And if I can get close, I think these guys can easily bust it out. So Leclerc already going 3.34 in the first rhythm lane on the first lap of the race with the whole field behind him. Pretty good indication he might have that line pretty dialed in. Copeland in second, Lang right up here in third right behind him. Like Lang's going to try an inside perhaps on Copeland. Settles in back behind him. It's a pretty clean start there as well. Didn't see too many riders going down in the first couple of corners. Copeland goes 3.3. This is a line I haven't seen anybody do. Okay, 3.3 over quad. And double out, but then goes to the outside. And Lang's just going to shoot right up the inside and move into second place. Leclerc already opening up a bit of a gap. It's Kohenauer, by the way, back in fourth. Casey Oler right here in fifth. Nathan Prince. So here is the guy I spoke to a little bit earlier today, and he won the third round of the 250 East Championship, which was Houston 3, and then pieced out. He's from France as he goes down, and spoke to him a little bit earlier today about that. Apparently he has work that he has to wake up not early for, but just has to wake up for, basically. And in France, when they're racing right now, it's, it's what, 7 o'clock here on the West Coast, so it's probably somewhere about 3 or 4 a.m. in France. So you either have to wake up real early or stay up very late to race these Race Factory races from France. And I understand Prin's situation there was a little bit tough for him to always do that. So he's back tonight, giving it a go in the 450 class. And he's got Jack Haley right behind him. Right now, though, it is Aaron Rockefeller in this final transfer spot, another guy that we saw quite frequently on that 250 East region. Like Prin, jumping up to the 450 class, and Prin going to make quick work up the inside, or at least try to. Eventually solidifies that pass with a nice move on Rockefeller. So Haley still has some work to do. I think, yeah, Seabolt, the defending champion, is right behind him. So Haley and Seabolt both outside looking in right now. Like I said, they have some work to do. They've got to get to Prin, who is 2 spots ahead of them. Haley up the inside trying to get Rockefeller. Rockefeller powers back right around him into the 10 spot. Oh, Haley, rear tire clip on Rockefeller, who is short on the jump, so Haley has to jump back on in the whoops and somehow kept it up. Now Seabolt giving Rockefeller the pressure there, and the 800 is keeping it steady for the time being. Haley and Seabolt trying to find something different to do. Haley's going to go outside triple, and then this quad over table line here. Double. It seems like these guys going outside. Seabolt lays it over a little bit. Someone jumping across the split right there. That was Luke Sullivan. Again, all these guys still outside looking in. There it is, triple quad, middle of the rhythm section for Haley, so that's a bit different than what we saw Leclerc do on the first lap of the race. And Haley has closed right back up to Rockefeller. Meanwhile, Nathan Prin has caught a huge battle. Casey Ohlert, Jeremy Cohenauer, the 92 of Craig Leak up here. Haley up the inside, just tried to block past Aaron Rockefeller, and Rockefeller right back up the inside of him. So Haley still has not completed this pass. He's going to go side by side over the finish line jump with him and try to get up the inside, and the whoops gets a better drive and is just going to push him to the outside, but almost go down. We do have a rider down on the other side of the track right there. Oh, Haley lights up Rockefeller for the position, and that was actually for the final transfer spot as somebody had gone down. I didn't see who it was. I think they either blew the berm or something like that, but now Haley's going to move up into 8th, or at least temporarily so. Cohenauer made a mistake. Haley trying to go to the outside. He's going to square back off, and then watch. He's going to go triple, quad, and was jumping over downed riders. Craig Leak and Jeremy Cohenauer both just went down. Okay, so let's reset things for a second here. It's Leclerc out front right now on the 7. He's still leading this race. Colby Eagland, after racing all of the 250 East rounds so far this year, is bar to bar with Lang. Lang is trying to go, or at least hold on a second. Eagland has just made that pass, and Eagland going to play a bit of a spoiler role now at this point. Obviously very quick, and will probably move up full-time to the 450 class next year, as it's likely he will defend that 250 East Championship this year. But surely knows how to get it done as well. Jumping through the tough blocks a little bit there, so Lang trying to fight back. Good battle for second here. Triple, quad triple for Eagland. Opens up small gap there on Lang. It's Copeland still back in 4th. Nathan Prin has moved up to 5th. Ohlert right here is in 6th. Jack Haley now finds himself in the 7th spot, but he just went down going for the quad. And through goes a couple riders. We got Benjamin Saves going up into 7th. Caleb Hall moves up into 8th. And Haley just remounting in 9th. No, actually, Seabolt up the inside moves into 9th. So here you go. Your last 2 Supercross champions are currently battling for the final transfer spot in this heat race right now. Seabolt, the 2020 champ, and Haley, the 2019 champ. Number 1 and 2 in the program book. Currently number 9 and 10 on the racetrack. Rider down before the whoops here, or off the side of the track. It was Lang in the other rhythm lane, so he's going to lose some spots there. How about that, though? Seabolt. Oh, no, Seabolt. What happened to Seabolt? Oh, he went down. Oh, he went down the other direction on the racetrack. Weird spot to go down. I didn't see what happened. Maybe he clipped the inside pole or something with his head. Just kind of disappeared into the tough blocks a little bit. Anyway, white flag is out for race leader Leclerc. And here he is. He just crossed the finish line jump. Looking smooth as butter right now. 58.5. Last time by a 57.1. It's his best lap of the race. Look at this. Tripling from the inside. Oh, that's a fall-off crash. Saw the legs fall off the bike, and he immediately grabs the brakes to try to get to a stop in time. And that does not cost him the lead. Eagland just trying to come up behind here. Not going to get close enough to Leclerc, though. Leclerc holds on. So it's Copeland in 3rd. Nathan Prin in 4th right now. Prin is going to try to jump by Copeland here. Yeah, just jumps right over him and moves up into the 3 spot. Nicely done for the 42. Oh, but then into the tough blocks, and Copeland shoots back up the inside there. So a couple turns remain, and Leclerc trying to right the ship after last week's shipwreck a little bit. It was a bit of a disaster in that main event, but starting off things here strong in Orlando 2 as he brings it down, and Alexis Leclerc is the winner here in 450 Heat 1, I should say. Colby Eaglin finishes up in second. Tyler Lang up the inside of Copeland. Will he hold on to third? Copeland a little out of shape, and Lang almost goes down, and Copeland is going to finish this one up in third. Lang fourth, Prin fifth, Caleb Hall sixth, Benjamin Saves seventh, Casey Ohlert eighth, and Haley's in ninth. I think he's just going to stay right there. Yes, he will. And Jack Haley will go to the main event, but ninth place, not how you want to do it. Cohenauer crosses the line 10th. Eduardo Simos here 11th, and Siebold going to miss the main out of this one. So could this be a potential third main event this year that Siebold won't make it into in 8 rounds in what has been so far a disastrous title defense as he goes to the last chance qualifier here in Orlando 2. Luke Sullivan 13th, Craig Richards 14th, Billy Kunitz 15th, Jordan Olson 16th, Logan Heagney was 17th, 18th for Craig Leake, 19th for Rockefeller, and Dale Mullins out of this one in 20th. Let's take a look at cuts. And looks like nothing did change inside of that top 9 as Leclerc confirmed as your race winner here in the first 450 heat race. Alrighty, last heat race of the night coming up. It's going to be 450, heat number 2. All right, and 450 heat number 2. This one is going to be brought to you by OGL Paco on Twitch. Got a Twitch streamer sponsoring Race Factor Gaming this year. And it says he streams in his free time. Proud sponsor of Race Factor Gaming. And wants you guys to stop by and hang out whenever you are free. I believe it's twitch.tv/OGL Paco. Cool sponsorship deal this year that he has put together. And just glad to see all these sponsors on board with us here this year. All right, Jeremy Smith, Braden Castellaneta, Luke Magnetti, Daniel Irvine, Daniel Mills, Walter Gebhardt, Seth Shirley, Reed Young, Chase Blakely, Casey Cochran, Dominic Tiberino, Colton Mitchell, Jeremy Schiabro, Austin Bear, Devin Ryan, going to be in this one. So as mentioned, only Braden Carter is going to be one of our 4 championship contenders in this heat race. All 4 of the other championship contenders making it through out of that last one. Or I should all three of the other championship contenders. Oh, Carter with the front flip to death. All right, who are we going to take a look at on the start here? Like Dennis Fjellberg here on the 3. He's got a good line up the inside. As we are revved up and ready to go. 9 going through. It's 450, heat number 2, live on SYS. Fjellberg's got a good jump. Gebhardt's going to out-drag him to the corner, but Fjellberg's going to try to sneak up the inside. Walter Gebhardt picking up the whole shot in this one. And immediately goes 3-4-3, so just like Leclerc does something big immediately to pull up a bit of a gap. And he's got a nice lead established already. It's Fjellberg right behind him in second. Braden Carter with a good start. He is up in third. Irvine, Ryan, Ritzler, Schmidt, Young all up here as well with Schiabro. Looks like he is rounding out this top 9 group so far as they all hit the whoops on the first lap. Oh, Schiabro just did like a 1080 of death at the end of the whoops at the top of the screen there. Oh, Carter. Oh, gosh. I always hate seeing these guys get on the track that bad because it just takes one protest to basically ruin a championship. But you cannot get on the track like that. See so many guys do it where they get up sideways like that and just brutal. There's Jacob Hubbard. We saw him for a moment. Hubbard, just like Eagland in that last heat race, moving up from that 250 East Division to race on the 450 opposite coast. Gebhardt opening up a nice, comfortable lead right now at the front, though. And the Integrity number 5, again, just looking for any semblance of consistency this year. Oh my goodness, how did he not go down right there? He was crashing for about 8 whoops and somehow stayed on 2 wheels. He slid out in the corner, but unless you hit your head or basically just like smack the ground really hard with the bike, you do not actually fall off the bike, so you can get up a lot faster. And Gebhardt, my goodness, that was a save and a half because that thing was messed up from Jump Street, as they say. Sabrina Ritzler up here in the 3 spot right behind Fjellberg. Anna Irvine up in the 4 spot. Colton Mitchell runs in 5th. Jacob Hubbard is in 6th. So all these guys in a bit of a freight train right now. Stephen Ryan 7th, and Braden Carter just trying to get up into 8th. He is alongside Luke Magnetti. Magnetti with a bit of a mistake is going to allow, is that Tiberino? Yeah, Dominic Tiberino to the outside of him, the Integrity number 77. So these two continue to battle on. Tiberino trying to think up the inside. There was Mitchell. Colton Mitchell was just down. Tiberino and Magnetti bar to bar into this corner. Tiberino just going to try to square off. You saw how quickly things can change. Mitchell, who was solidly in a transfer spot in 5th, crashes. Now is sitting in 10th behind these guys. He's going to have a bit of catching up to do. Tiberino a little out of shape there in the rhythm lane, and suddenly Colton Mitchell is closing right up. Oh, I thought Tiberino was trying to go for the quad, but he actually was just jumping to the far left side of the track. Looked like he was going to be in the air a lot longer, and then suddenly he was coming back to the ground real quick. Look at this freight train in the whoops right now. Any one of these guys, things could go disastrous in a hurry. Daniel Irvine high sides and goes down. I think that Magnetti maybe just went down in the whoops, or was that Tiberino? No, Mitchell also went down in the whoops. Man, these whoops are eating these guys up tonight. Reed Young just went down in them. There's Chase Blakely going by. Here's Jeremy Smith coming through on the 4. Oh, man, you cannot get a drive in the whoops like I just saw Braden Cassianetta get and hope for anything good, but he does make it through. So that's a positive for him. And Seth Shirley going down in the other set of whoops. These whoops are absolutely murdering these guys tonight. Irvine with a little case to nose wheelie to wheelie out, so getting his Axel Hodges on. Got a rider down right here. That is Daniel Mills on the Jack Daniels Racing number 15. So many guys making mistakes. So Blakely moves up to 11th now. Irvine is in 10th. And Tiberino on the bubble right now. Irvine closing that gap down a little bit, actually. Into the whoops they go. Irvine getting kind of bucked around in those whoops. It makes me wonder if those whoops, as the night goes on, the whoops are going to break down a little bit more in the main events as those are longer. How much we see guys leading the race taking it easy in the whoops. It's interesting because I rode these whoops a little bit earlier today, and I kind of thought that they were maybe the easiest whoops we've seen this year. They're shorter. They're a little bit closer together. But obviously these guys trying to hit them at maybe a little bit faster of a speed, forcing some errors out of the riders. Anyhow, back out to the front. Walter Gebhardt checks in again, and he is out of shape in the whoops again. How many times is Gebhardt going to get sideways in the whoops tonight? Ooh, little mistake right there. That's going to cost him some time. But Braden Carter not even close right now. Good for Carter, though, to make amends from an early mistake. And get himself up in the second. Kind of have the feeling Carter is in it for this championship, being a more or less full-blown rookie in this 450 class this year. Aside from the one blip where he did not make the main event, I believe that was Indy 2 or Indy 3 perhaps. I think it was Indy 2. He's been pretty good for the most part. Not quite always at the front, and obviously the 2 wins that he has this year has helped a lot to keep his championship as close as it is. But otherwise been very solid, very consistent as Gebhardt checks in for the white flag out front. And now with Carter just sitting 6 points back in the championship and maybe some momentum on his side, things are going to start rolling in his favor. Gets another win tonight, you never know. Go on a bit of a roll here. So Devin Ryan still finds himself in third, but he's going to go down. So that's going to be Hubbard going by. Ritzler goes by. Devin Ryan goes by. Or Dennis Fielberg goes by. Devin Ryan, who is down. Luke Magnetti. Dominic Tiberino. Colton Mitchell. And Devin Ryan gets up in 9th. So he's in the final transfer spot. As Braden Carter going to bring us down to the flag here. Oh, maybe. Oh, what happened to... Gebhardt had gone down. Gebhardt went down. He must have gone down, like, in the rhythm lane in the back section or something, because we had just switched away from these guys. But how about this? Braden Carter sneaks through and wins 450 heat number 2. Gebhardt crosses the line in second. Looks like he's pretty furious with himself. You don't see many guys launch the finish like that with plenty of time to spare unless they are just upset about it. Hubbard crosses the line third. Excuse me. Dennis Fielberg crosses the line fourth, just barely. Magnetti, Ritzler, Tiberino all right behind him. Mitchell crosses in 8th. And my camera freaks out there, but Blakely going to the main event in 9th. So Devin Ryan went from 3rd as the white flag waved to, 12th now? He's going to be passed by Reed Young, who's going to finish 10th in this one. Daniel Irvine, who is going to finish 11th. And finally, Devin Ryan's disastrous last lap ends with a 12th place finish. He just jumps right across the track into the start straight. Braden Castellaneta, Casey Cochran, Jeremy Schiabro, Seth Shirley, Jeremy Smith, Daniel Mills, Tyler Schmidt, Austin Bear, all missing this one in what was a crazy heat race. And there we go. Let's see if anything changed with cuts. No, Carter, winner of 450 heat number 2. Holy smokes! Travis Marks, $100 donation, and says, game stonk. So, like, stonks. I like it. Yeah, stocks have been all the talk lately, huh? And I think Mark's dog, you're a little bit in on some of those stocks, but dude, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate that. $100. Wow. Dude, you are legendary. I got a webcam. I got to get on the webcam. Dude, Mark's dog. Holy crap, dude. Thank you. That's awesome. I cannot believe you just donated $100 to the stream, buddy. But that is freaking sick. And thank you so much. So forget the sponsor of whatever I was going to say for the LCQs. The LCQs tonight are going to be brought to you by Travis Marks. And you can, I guess, check him out, Travis Marks on Twitter, or you can just listen to the Pulp Show. Or what I really should do, because this is what's going to fill Travis Marks' pockets a little bit more, is you should head over to pulpmxfantasy.com and sign up and play that, because it's a lot of fun. I play it every week. I know a lot of people like the RM Fantasy Supercross, but I personally feel that if you're like a big diehard motocross fan, that what you should do is play Pulp Fantasy, because it's kind of a way to like watch other battles, watch privateers, watch LCQ transfer spots and stuff like that. It's a heck of a lot of fun. To play Pulp Fantasy, in my opinion. Sometimes it can be rage ensuing, but it's also a lot of fun, and I would recommend checking out pulpmxfantasy.com. So thank you, Mark's dog. That is awesome, dude. I really appreciate it. Had to jump on the camera and say thank you, because that is awesome, dude. You are the bomb. So like I said, these races coming up next are going to be brought to you by Travis Marks. right. All right, 250 last chance qualifier. And last chance for all of these guys to make it into this first 250 West main event of the season. And you know what? I've been here before. I remember going into 2013, I waited to race East, started the season in the 450 class, and made 3 of the first 4 450 mains of the year, then decided to skip the last couple rounds so I didn't point out of the 250 East Series because I thought I had a legit shot at winning the championship that year. I came into the first round, expectations were fairly high. It was my first full season of racing. I was a triple-digit guy, but I really did think I had a good chance in that series. And then I ended up in the LCQ and was literally probably dumping bricks at that point, thinking I cannot miss this first main of the season. And then while running third in the LCQ, I crashed in the whoops and did not make the main event back then in 2013. And I was just so devastated. So I know what these guys feel like right now, because I think some of these guys probably came into this year thinking, man, oh man, this could be a great year for me. Make it into these main events, get some good points, have a good season. But it all ends right here if you can't make it into the main. 4 riders go through. It's the 250 West last chance qualifier right now. Big jump for the 113 into the first corner. It's Luca Schwertner on the impact. Number 113 with the hole shot. Daniel Paz, who we saw up front in his heat race before that early crash, moves right into the race lead, and we've got a couple fresh faces up front. Jumping over top of him, though, looks to be Trent Adams, perhaps. And the 31 of Kevin Gonzalez also getting in here. A mistake from Paz loses all the spots that he just gained. He goes from first to fourth as Schwertner in the whoops getting a little out of shape. Going to go up the inside. We've got a rider down at the side of the track there. And this is going to be some frantic action. So Schwertner trying to hold on out front. And given that I literally have not seen his name before, I'd have to imagine this would be his first career Race Factor Gaming main event if he makes it through tonight. And boy, what a bonus that would be. Trent Adams hot on his heels. Daniel Paz now moves up to third. Gonzalez back to fourth. We got Dylan Smith right here behind him. Michael Mudge, who is in a transfer spot for a lot of the heat race. Alex Heckman with Jack Fowler back here. So there's some guys that will be very disappointed if they can't make it through. Focused on this lead battle right now, though, is Luca Schwertner and Trent Adams going for it. I did not see Schwertner basically at all in the heat race. Saw him on the start when we went through the rider lineup, and then just did not have a good heat race apparently. So finally gets out front, maybe showing what he's capable of. He's looking really smooth out front so far, at least. It doesn't seem like that pressure is really getting to him. Trent Adams right behind him. Getting some update from Raris in chat. Thanks for the info. Says Luca's been around for a while but tends to race EMF or Race Factory EU since he's from Germany. So good to see some German flair out here representing the Ken Roxons of the world. And Schwertner pulls out a nice gap on Adams, who made a mistake. Little case on the triple there as well. Mudge has moved up into third, and Dylan Smith now finds himself in fourth. So we've lost a couple names as Jack Fowler just went down. So Dylan Smith right now is in that final transfer spot. Coming up from behind is going to be Tyron Tomic. I can't imagine Tomic is a guy that views himself as missing this first main event of the season. He doesn't earn national number 41 without being one of the top players in the game. And he is going to charge up here on Dylan Smith. Oh, he goes down! Over the bars on the triple after the whoops. And the Steve Mathis Memorial nets, I guess, don't have collisions this week. He goes flying right through him. Awful track reentry, but fortunately just missed hitting Jack Fowler. So he gets up right behind Fowler, and these two guys have an uphill battle to climb here. And Tomic is almost going to go down again. A nice save. Has to wait for Fowler a little bit, though. Okay, so let's reset things. It's Schwertner in the lead still. Adams still in second. Dylan Smith has moved up into third. Mudge has dropped back to fourth. And these guys are going 5 minutes plus a lap. Oh, Dylan Smith, little huckabucks in the whoops. Mudge up the inside. Smith squares back off. Seen that move happen all night in that corner. Up over the finish line jump. These two going at it for third right now. So not a transfer spot, but trying to buffer themselves a little bit. Mudge to the outside, just going to jump right on by Dylan Smith. And it's Alex Helms on the Pro Line Designs number 492 back here. Then Tristan Powell and Tyron Tomic. Tomic in seventh. And needing a mini miracle at this point probably to make the race. Schwertner out front is already kind of in cruise control. He's going to pass the finish line again one more time before time expires. So this time by is going to be 2 to go for these guys. 15 seconds still on the clock. And Schwertner checks in out front. 2 to go, like I said. Adams, Mudge, and then Alex Helms. So Dylan Smith went down. Alex Helms now holding the final transfer spot. Smith contact in the background here. The 139 of Tristan Powell. And Tomic has caught that group. So really he is just behind the battle for fifth. But he needs something to happen to either Trent Adams or Alex Helms up here. Alex Helms seems to me like he's a guy that, like I said, I've kind of been in this position before. Man, you are sweating bullets with 2 laps before the finish. You're in fourth in the LCQ. You are just trying to think about everything but losing that final transfer spot, but all you can think about is just don't make a mistake. Ride smooth, hit your lines, and you can see so far Helms has made a couple of mistakes, but Mudge just went down again. And right now, Schwertner has a huge lead, 18-second lead, and then it's kind of a free-for-all back here. Adams going through the whoops right now, electing to double the whoops. Alex Helms, Michael Mudge, Dylan Smith, and Tyron Tomic coming through the whoops. Now right behind, oh, Tomic almost contact, so Tomic is up into fifth. So now if either of these two have one more mistake, Tyron Tomic is going to be knocking on the door for this main event. And he is desperate to get around these guys. A mistake there for Helm. Helm's a little mistake, has to go outside, and there's more mistakes here as Mudge pulls up to the inside. He is going to go up into third. Helms is trying to keep it together. Here comes Tomic with the triple, and Helms a mistake. Tomic a mistake as well. Tomic trying to get up the inside. Contact! Oh, and Tomic just able to stay on 2 wheels. Helms is going to stay up as well. He is still in fourth. Meanwhile, Lucas Schwertner is going to his first RFNA main event as he wins the LCQ. Adams and Mudge still battling it out. Helms and then Tomic. It's going to come down to the whoops. Who gets the whoops clean? Adams side by side with Mudge. It looks like they both will get through them cleanly and stay away from each other. Helms does get a clean drive through the whoops and stays up. Tomic trying to go desperate here. And Mudge side by side with Adams over the line. Helms goes to the main event. Tomic misses out by 1.2 seconds in the end. Cooper Hunt also not going through. Dylan Smith, Kevin Gonzalez, Jack Fowler, Braden Tharp, Elliot Person, Tristan Powell, Lois Gorin, Jeremy Estrella, Neil Wells, Seth Crotty, John Heilman, William St. Laurent, Robert Wilson, Alex Heckman, Daniel Paz, all not going through as we await for cuts. 1.2 seconds was that gap from Tomic to Helms. So if there's over 1.2 seconds of cuts for Helms, the spot goes to Tomic. We're waiting for 3 more spots to cross. And Tomic gets it! No way! By 2/100ths of a second. What a heartbreak for Alex Helms, who had 1.3 seconds of cuts exactly and misses out on the main event. Oh my goodness. What a heartbreak. It's Schwertner with the win, Adams second, Mudge third, and Tomic with the lawyer main event spot gets fourth in this one by the skin of his teeth, 23/100ths of a second. Tomic is going to the main event on cuts. Oh, Alex Helms, I feel for you, buddy. No. Oh, my goodness. Oh my goodness, that is a bummer. I feel bad for Helms. Man, that kid rode his heart out. And just 1.3 seconds of cuts, that's almost nothing in the grand scheme of things. If Tomic crosses the line a blink of an eye later, he easily makes the main event, does Helms, and by the skin of his teeth, Tomic is going to the main event. All right, so 450 last chance qualifier coming up. Big name in this one, of course, is going to be your defending champion, Jeremy Seabolt, trying to not miss the main event for the third time this year, which has already happened. Happened at Houston 2. It happened at Houston 3. Kind of got things righted a little bit in the Indianapolis swing. A couple of podiums. Looked good at Orlando 1 as well. Now finds himself in the last chance qualifier here. And that is going to be interesting to watch because Seabolt has had a rough year, and just when it looked like things were maybe starting to go back his way, here he is again in another last chance qualifier. Jordan Olson, Seth Shirley, Daniel Mills, Jeremy Smith, Eduardo Simos, Reed Young, Austin Bear, Billy Kunitz, Craig Richards, Casey Cochran, Braden Castellaneta, Daniel Irvine, Tyler Schmidt, Jeremy Cohenauer, all going to be in this one as well. So they're wrapping up their parade lap. Alrighty. So who is going to make it through into the 8th round of MotoOption Supercross from Orlando? There's only 4 spots left. And one of these guys, some of these guys I should say, are going to be deeply disappointed if they can't make it happen here. Some big names on this list. Who goes through? It's a 450 LCQ right now in Orlando. Seabolt with a pretty good jump, and he is going to get to the corner and control it easily because a lot of contact behind him. So Seabolt up the inside gets the whole shot. Looks like Tyler Schmidt right in behind him on the 175 Tegrity. And Cohenauer with a good start as well. Devin Ryan also up here. Remember, Ryan, heartbreak hero from the heat race, was in 3rd on the last lap of his heat race. I believe that was 450 heat 2. And then crashed twice on the last lap and ended up finishing 12th. Oh, Cohenauer down in the whoops. And up the inside goes Simos. So Devin Ryan immediately goes from 3rd back to 4th, and then Simos slides out and Ryan hits him and goes down. So Sullivan goes by, Craig Richards, Daniel Mills. 37 of Reed Young is back there behind Richards. So let's settle in. Seabolt right where he wants to be, out front. And with a nice little gap already somewhat established. Just wants a clean race, which he has not had many in his heat races this year. And that's been his kryptonite so far in the season. Not many times that he's just straight up got out front. Not many starts like he had in this LCQ where he got out the gate, got that perfect little wheelie down where you get the power down all the way through. And Tyler Schmidt jumping up the inside of Simos. Little dualies action over the triple. Into the whoops we go. Oh, Simos off the track. So Schmidt goes by. Here comes Luke Sullivan. And Sullivan not able to make the pass just yet. Daniel Mills right back there peeking on in from the outside. Oh, Siebold was down. Siebold just getting up from a crash now behind Tyler Schmidt. Simmons tries to sneak up the inside of him, and there's contact in the background. Daniel Mills goes down with Reed Young. Several other riders coming in trying to avoid them. So let's see what happened here. So Siebold, actually Siebold is still leading the race. Schmidt is in second, almost makes contact with Simmons, and Simmons trying to go up the inside. And now Simmons lays it down, so Sullivan is going to pass him. Oh, and then Sullivan almost went down himself, so Simmons is going to try to jump back by him. Then he cases, and here comes Kohenauer, who is down in the whoops like a lap ago. He's already on the back of these guys for a transfer spot. He's in 5th right now. So let's see what Siebold can do. Oh, again in the whoops. Enters a little bit crooked, but a nice save. Trying to get at the inside of Simmons. And Devin Ryan back there as well, knocking on the door. So Siebold, Schmidt, Sullivan, and Simmons all nose to tail with Kohenauer and Ryan right off the back of them. So your front 6 are basically all bunched together. Kohenauer going to try to go on off to the outside of Simmons and triple in, but lands in the tough blocks and loses ground. Here comes Devin Ryan. Nice job of recovering there for Kohenauer, though, and he's going to be able to stay up the inside, so he'll keep Devin Ryan behind him. Or will he? Devin Ryan around the outside. Nice pass for the 108. But then Kohenauer is going to get the preferred option through here. Doesn't get the quad, though. Devin Ryan up the inside of Simmons. Oh, contact, and Simmons goes down. Castellaneta hits him and gets hung up on the triple. So over top of them comes, Craig Leak on the 92 and Daniel Mills up the inside of Castellaneta. Not going to quite get a wheel in just yet. Craig Richards off the back and Castellaneta passing Leak back up the inside of the whoops. Devin Ryan went down. So now this is the battle for the last transfer spot. Craig Leak just moved into 4th. He's got Castellaneta, Simmons, Mills, Devin Ryan, Richards all right behind him. And Leak getting sideways. He's going to save it and almost go into the other lane. He actually does hit Kohenauer in the other lane. And then you'll see 4th going by the other direction now. That's Castellaneta. So Castellaneta now dealing with pressure from Simmons, the rider out of Brazil. It is Siebold, Schmidt, and then Sullivan just went down. So now Castellaneta goes up into 4th. Sullivan, who was, I guess, in 3rd still, just went down, and now Castellaneta is back in the final transfer spot. Simmons, Sullivan hitting his rear wheel. He goes down. And Castellaneta clean through the whoops right now. Just trying to stay on 2 wheels. So again, resetting everything right now with 2 to go. It is Jeremy Siebold leading this race. Tyler Schmidt running in 2nd. Jeremy Kohenauer runs in 3rd, and Braden Castellaneta is in 4th. Eduardo Simmons is sneaking up here, though, on Castellaneta, trying to make things interesting. Oh, and he goes down. He tucks the front wheel on the rut and hits his head and falls off the bike. Devin Ryan goes by. Sullivan not going to go by. And then here comes Billy Kunitz, who we've not seen in this LCQ yet. He's sneaked into the picture a little bit now. So white flag about to wave, as Siebold is going to come into the final corner in just a second here and click onto the final lap of this last chance qualifier. And at least for the time being, as Sullivan quadding up the inside and then going down on the tough blocks on the inside, at least for the time being, things have settled down a little bit. It's now Siebold, Kohenauer, Castellaneta, and Schmidt inside the top 4. Devin Ryan is in 5th. Kunitz right behind him in 6th. But they have a bit of an uphill battle. They're going to need some luck out of this little 3-rider train right here. Kohenauer, Castellaneta, or Schmidt would have to likely fall to lose their transfer spots. Castellaneta just kind of hitting every bump that he can through that section. Siebold goes down in the whoops. He must have been trying to do a hot lap or something, because he entered those really fast. He goes down. He's going to get up still with the lead, though. Kohenauer 16 seconds back as Siebold picks it back up. And not the prettiest way to make the main event, but hey, he is going to take it, because it's been a rough year so far for him, as Jeremy Siebold's going to win this last chance qualifier. And Castellaneta is going to get around Kohenauer, who again crashed in the whoops. Not many times you can crash twice in an LCQ and still make it, but Kohenauer is going to prove all those stereotypes wrong. Castellaneta goes second, Kohenauer third, and Tyler Schmidt to the main event here in fourth. Devin Ryan fifth. Jeremy Smith down at the end of the whoops. Looks like he's not going through either. Aaron Rockefeller, Craig Leake, Billy Kunitz, Seth Shirley, Casey Cochran, another guy that has won in the 250 East Division earlier this year. Not going through. Logan Heagney. Daniel Irvine misses out. Luke Sullivan looks like he DNF'd right there not too long ago. Eduardo Simos also a DNF. Dale Mullins, Daniel Mills, Austin Bear, Jordan Olson, Reed Young. Some guys that crashed too many times and did not want to finish this LCQ there. As cuts are in, and looks like everything stayed the exact same. So Seabolt taking the dub here. We are waiting for them to build those main event scripts. Ugh. So while they are doing that, let's go ahead and thank some people for being here tonight. Big shout out to MXS Lobby. MXS Lobby provides and sells quality MX Simulator servers. With a custom dashboard and many requested features, MXS Lobby constantly evolves to what users want. Get one today and start racing with others. Also, a big shout out to Underground RC, the leader in radio-controlled fun, on-site indoor off-road track, and carpet track with a large in-store RC selection. So check them out. And tonight's 250 West main event, the season opener of 250 West, which is about to kick off, is brought to you by Phil's Ski and Snowboard. Phil's Ski and Snowboard is your one-stop shop for all things ski and snowboard. They have over 35 years of industry experience, along with a youthful and knowledgeable staff, giving you the best experience you can find in Orange County. Whether it's tune-ups and repairs, seasonal leases, retail, or just giving information on the latest and greatest equipment, they are here to make sure you get the most out of your winter. Phil's Ski and Snowboard on board with us this year, and presenting you the first round of the 250 West Championship this year in MX Simulator. Got some more celebrities in chat. First off, we have Donut, who I'm very excited to race against this weekend in that SX4 Influencer Showdown. Gonna be fun, buddy. And Justin Starling, old J-Star, in the chat here tonight. And Starling says that he struggles in this game to ride straight for 30 feet. And these dudes are bucking quads each lap, so there you go. I like it. Hope you're all good, though, J-Star. Saw that you thought maybe tore your MCL, which would be a bit of a bummer. A bit tough to ride at that Orlando 2 Supercross in the heat race in the LCQ. Saw you were in some pain, but hopefully you're doing well. And all these guys that are in this 250 West main event, at least for right now, they are doing well. Because they don't know yet where they're going to finish in this main event. And that's a glorious feeling to just be in the main event, know you're about to start, and hopefully starting your season strong. But it could go oh so wrong, oh so fast as they wrap up their parade lap. Tyron Thomas just made it out of that last chance qualifier. So across, Bryce Whelan, Roy Mitchell, Kevin Frazaka, Tanner Rogers, Seth Carr, Brandon Nygren, Caden Speck, Neil Fitzpatrick, Trent Adams, Lane Wofford, Frank Jackson, Ethan Gerst, Alex Kerr, Lucas Schwartner won that last chance qualifier. Who is it going to be? Of course, Payson Johnson is here tonight. It's going to line up next to the box. Here we go, folks. The first 250 West race of the year. It's live on Star Your Systems, and it starts right now in Orlando. Let's drop the gate on the season. Couple guys hitting the gate, and a big crash early on out of Mudge, I believe that was, into the first corner. Lucas Schwartner out of the LCQ doesn't quite get there first. Jaden Wilson, Race Factory Gaming Whole Shot Award on the Covenant number 65. He's out front, and Schwartner, the rider out of Germany, is right behind him. And Tomic right out of the LCQ as well. He's up in third. So a couple guys that have had some rough nights find themselves right at the front. All the while, Wilson, who won his heat race, out front as well. Look at Schwartner trying to go for the lead. Gonna be bar to bar. It's drag racing in the next corner. Schwartner gets blocked off by Wilson and ends up funneling right behind him. Jaden Wilson leading the first lap here of the season. I saw that Payson Johnson had gotten held up a little bit before the whoop section and might have a bit of an uphill climb now as he got several riders going by him. Wilson stepping on, stepping off, and I got to give credit. Schwartner has looked really strong going through that last chance qualifier and keeping the pressure on Wilson early on, but he's going to lose a couple spots. Actually, looks like he made a mistake. So Tyron Tomic going to move up into second. How about Jaden Wilson, though? Could this be a breakthrough first career victory for the number 65 machine? Looks so good in his heat race. Quick shout out to Johnny Wellborn for the $5 donation. Kicking off this 250 West Championship with a dono, and Chad as Wilson sideways on the whoops, and then Tomic off the track in the background. Up the inside, Payson Johnson trying to get up in there. So already we see the number 8 Panini Motorsports ride trying to battle out front. Many expect he is the clear title favorite in this championship, but it's not as easy as it sounds to go right into championship pace after so much time off. He's going to try to cut back up the inside. And so far, Wilson holds him at bay, but Wilson, a mistake, does not get the preferred rhythm line and is really having to take his time through this one. So right through to the lead goes Payson Johnson. Johnson now leads. Frank Jackson moves up into second, and Tomic goes into third as Wilson goes from first to fourth with one small mistake in the rhythm lane. None of these guys able to quite get that quad off. We also have Lucas Schwartner still rounding out the top 5. And is it goodbye time for Johnson out front? Bit of a freight train in the whoops. Tomic up the inside. Gets past Frank Jackson for second. Nice move. And like I said in those last chance qualifiers, Tyron Tomic, a guy who likely thinks that he is in it with a chance for this championship this year, or at least contending towards the front. Little contact there with Frank Jackson getting back by him. And Tomic gets going, but not before he holds up Schwartner a little bit. So here comes a 22 of Tanner Rogers. Rogers trying to sneak back into this battle. And Tomic staying ahead of Schwartner for the time being. So back out front real quick, and we'll take a look at Payson Johnson as he's starting to stretch out that lead already. Frank Jackson, 3 seconds down. Wilson right behind him. And is this a preview of what we're going to see a lot of in this 250 West Division Series? Payson Johnson out front, putting it in cruise control. Of course, a bit controversial this year already. If we go back to Houston 2, a little slide out there. Payson Johnson was potentially on his way to winning the 450 main event at Houston 2. And just the way that the points work out, he did not want to remain top 10 in the 450 class standings. If you remain top 10, you are ineligible to drop down for the 250 class. So a win obviously would have been a lot of points towards potentially staying inside of that top 10. If he won that round and elected to sit out the rest of the rounds, he would not have stayed in the top 10, but he goes down actually. And he's going to lose the lead here for sure, I'd have to imagine, as there goes Tomic into the lead. So Tyron Tomic breaks through to the front. Quickly back to Payson real quickly, though. He was banned because he elected not to win that main event, and instead of battling and trying to race all the way to the flag, he let almost the entire field go back by. And Race Factory does not take too kindly to showing up and racing and then basically not racing after everybody else worked so hard to try to make it into those main events. So he's banned for 5 weeks, comes back, and is trying to win the season opener of the West Series. But Tyron Tomic, after literally making it into the main event out of the last chance qualifier by basically getting it lawyered to him, he did not straight up get it as Johnson up the inside lands on Tomic's back. Tanner Rogers tries to go to the outside, and a bit of an overzealous move early on in the race for Payson Johnson. Tomic stays up, and Tanner Rogers has snuck up in here. So Tomic and Rogers now out front, and again, Payson Johnson making some unforced errors. And Johnson now back into the 3 spot, going to try to regroup and go back after our leaders. It's Trent Adams in the 4 spot. Ethan Gerst has moved his way up into 5th. Devin Davis finds himself in 6th. Lucas Schwertner has gone back to 7th. Frank Jackson in 8th. Neil Fitzpatrick running in the 9th spot. Johnson just went down again. He's down at the end of the whoops and off the side of the track. That's going to cost him more spots. So Payson Johnson, who just a couple laps ago looked like he might have already shifted into cruise control, now has a whole boatload of work to do to get back to the front. Fortunately, he has plenty of time to work with, and a mistake-laden series. Oh, aggressive move on Devin Davis to move him out of the way. Payson Johnson taking no prisoners. No idea how Davis stayed up there. That was some hard contact. So nicely done by Davis, and Johnson now having to run down Ethan Gerst here. He's going to close up on him, try to go up the inside, and makes that pass happen relatively easy. So maybe he's already regrouped a little bit here. He's scrubbing everything in the rhythm lane, trying to catch up to Trent Adams. And then Tanner Rogers here behind race leader Tyron Tomic, the rider out of Australia on the Connect Visual number 41. I don't think I've ever seen someone make it into the main event more by the skin of his teeth than Tomic did tonight. 0.02 of a second was the difference between him not making the main and watching this one versus making it and now leading it with a shot at winning the opener. But he's going to deal with some pressure up the inside. Here comes Tanner Rogers for the lead. And Rogers to the front. And he goes down immediately. Cases the triple in, and he's over the bars. How many spots does he lose? Or does he stay in second? No, here comes third right now. I can hear a bike coming to the left side of the screen. It's Johnson, and he's going to be bar to bar with him. Rogers going to try to square off and be side by side again. Dualies over the Supercross triple. Can Rogers square him off again and get to the inside of the whoops here? He's going to try. And he kind of just funnels in behind him, tries to get a better drive up the inside of the whoops perhaps. And now Johnson moves into second. 10-second gap up to Tomic. We are past halfway. Can Payson Johnson just flat out run Tomic down? Does Tomic have mistakes in him? Or is this a chance for Tomic now with a big gap to maybe breathe and just hit his marks and run his laps? This reminds me of maybe 5 years ago, maybe a little bit sooner than that. There used to be a promotion put on by DC Shoes, and it was basically in coordination with Jeremy McGrath, because McGrath, in his heyday, went to a last chance qualifier after a couple issues, won the LCQ, and then went on to win the main event. And they put up a bit of a purse back then. I think it was like 10 grand if you won the LCQ, or I think as even if you just were in the LCQ, made it through the LCQ, and then won the main event, did DC Shoes. And this is that to the umpth degree with Tomic, who finished 5th in the LCQ, but thanks to the system implemented by Josh Vanderhoof, he was lawyered into the main event, and now he's lawyered himself right off the bike there, casing a triple mid-rhythm, and back to the lead goes Payson Johnson. Man, you can't talk about these 250 guys fast enough for them to just crash it away again, and now Johnson trying to deal with lapping. I don't know who that is, actually. That is, I thought it was Mudge, but it's one of the atom.com riders, I believe. Yeah, that's Michael Mudge on the 761. Oh, my goodness, I thought Payson Johnson was coming to blows with him there. Mudge trying to... Oh, contact! And Johnson down again. Here comes Tomic, but Tomic gets together with a lap rider and goes down. Now Johnson trying to wheelie through the whoops and get back going. And he is now clear of Tomic by about 4 seconds here. All kinds of problems. Tomic off the side of the track. Johnson just trying to weave through the lapped riders. Oh, Tanner Rogers has gone to the lead. I missed it. So Tanner Rogers took over the lead when Johnson went down. I thought there were so many lapped riders mixed in here. So Rogers is leading the race right now. And Tanner Rogers, for what it's worth, is, I believe, the only rider in this field with a victory so far in this 250 division. He won the 250 main event at Toronto in 2016. Johnson, who was suspended for an entire year back in 2019, just made his debut in the outdoors last year and won the outdoor title in what was essentially his first full rookie season of pro RF competition. That's how he earned number 8, because he won the championship. But he has never raced an RF Pro Supercross to my knowledge before, meaning he's never won one, but Rogers has won one. And now he's trying to hold off Payson. A little mistake in the rhythm lane. Here comes Johnson up the inside for the lead again. Bar to bar into this corner. Johnson almost went down, but he stays on 2 wheels. So Johnson able to stay up. And it keeps Tyron Tomic behind him. Devin Davis is up to 4th. It's Schwartner inside the top 5. Oh my goodness, this is absolutely insane. Well, Johnson again has to go back to work. Tanner Rogers leading this main event. 3.3 seconds is the gap. And there is 3 minutes left to go in this race, plus a lap. So this is going to get real interesting real fast. Let's jump on board with Payson Johnson and see if he can just start turning some hot laps here. 101.7, that was with his little mistake. 58.1 is his best. Look at the time on the pit board coming down. It was 3 seconds. It's now almost under 2 seconds. 2.5 out now. Makes another mistake. Johnson making some very crucial mistakes here. But he's getting these lines so smooth through the rhythm lanes, scrubbing everything, staying lower. Does he triple in here, trying to carry speed? Yep, triples in. That was smooth. And then scrub again, and then little flick scrub there, and then scrub the single. I mean, he's literally scrubbing every jump in the rhythm lane. Then he scrubs the Supercross triple. Looking like Ken Roxon in 2009 at a GP. Just scrubbing everything. Oh, was that Rogers down? No, it was Rogers' teammate, one of the SwapMotoLive.com riders, down at the end of the whoops. A 58.5 for Johnson. And that included a little mistake on the on-off here at the end of the stadium. Look at how hard he hits those whoops. Gets the on-off much cleaner this time by, then goes up the inside. Backside's that double, then triple, then scrubs this. Well, actually didn't scrub it this time. But look at all the time he's closed up. Into the tough blocks a little bit there. That was close. Tanner Rogers going to take a deep breath and try to hold on. We are closing up on 1 minute and 1 lap to go, and the battle for the lead is about to brew for the first 250 West win of the season. Tanner Rogers is leading on the number 22 SwapMotoLive.com machine. Payson Johnson trying to close. Up the inside, showed him a wheel, but not quite close enough. And lap traffic coming into play here a little bit. 14 minutes on the clock, so they're going to get back around one more time most likely, barring a crash of some sort. That means 3 to go. Oh my gosh, Payson Johnson's so close there. He gets so good through those whoops and closes that gap down, and then he's very good in this section. Rogers has made a couple mistakes. Now Johnson, it's his turn to make a mistake right there. Goes for the triple on the table, but gets it cleanly. Oh, sideways and almost down. Stays on 2 wheels. That is crucial. Didn't lose too much time, but man, it might be enough right there. So Rogers I wonder if he slows down to not clip the flag next time by, because it's going to be so close. Wow, actually, you know what? These guys, I guess they're doing 59, so if he just basically runs a minute lap time, yeah, I think the white flag is about to wave this time by. Gosh, it's going to be so close. 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. So yes, white flag waving this time by. Tanner Rogers just got it. And Payson Johnson has one less lap to work with because of that. So Rogers has to try to keep all this lap traffic at bay. There's so much of it, and he cases the triple a little bit there. Look at all the lap traffic. There's so many riders. A little mistake. Rogers, oh man, he's not going to go for the line. He's going to double. He's going to triple here. He's short. And then, oh my gosh, this is so nerve-wracking. He's hitting everything. And here comes Johnson trying to weave through the lap traffic. And he can see Rogers just up the road. Lap traffic doesn't triple in. Johnson does. Gets it clean. Oh, man, this is getting close. Over the Supercross triple. It is totally coming down to the whoops here. Payson Johnson, you think he's not going to send it? Oh, you bet he is. Here we go into the whoops. 2 turns to go. Johnson launches up the inside for the race lead, and he takes him down. Who gets up first? Oh, they get up together. It's going to be a cat-mouse game into this final corner. Rogers is going to come busting up the inside and takes Johnson wide. Tanner Rogers wins the opening round of the season. Unbelievable last 2 turns. Johnson crosses the line second. Holy smokes. That contact in the last turn. What a finish as Tyron Tomic is going to round out the podium here, finishing up in 3rd. Devin Davis looks like he is going to finish 4th in this one. Trent Adams, Jaden Wilson up the inside. Oh, some contact. No, it's going to be to the last corner again with these guys. Oh, read him like a book to Trent Adams. And Adams crosses the line in 5th. Jaden Wilson 6th. Or actually 7th, because Kerr finished up 6th. Wilson 7th. Trevor Burns going to get 8th. And Neil Fitzpatrick will get 9th. Rounding out the top 10 is going to be Ethan Gerst. Lucas Schwartner ends up 11th, and Jackson 12th. And after cuts, I thought maybe with Rogers clipping those inside tough blocks, it might have cost him the win with how close it was, but no. Payson Johnson actually had 1.5 seconds of cuts, and it extended the gap. So if Rogers didn't even try that pass, he still would have won on cuts. Holy smokes. What a race. Rogers wins the opening round of the season, and he'll have those red plates when we head to Daytona next week. Whew. Man, like my heart races during real races, especially when I'm in the stadium. But even watching on TV, I feel like I get jabbed up. Like I even had my heart rate monitor on last week, and I was spiking at like 125 just watching the race on TV. But dang, kind of like tingling after that one. That was a heck of a race. So Payson Johnson is going to be disappointed with that. But still a heck of a race. Tomic, Davis, Adams inside of the top 5. All good rides for those guys. But the man of the night, Tanner Rogers. Whew. All right. Collectively, everybody, let's catch our breath here because we got a 450 main event coming up that's going to be huge in the grand scheme of things, with 4 riders only separated by 18 points, the top 3 only separated by 6 points in the championship, and Alexis Leclerc looking for a rebound week after what was a bit of a tough round for him at Orlando 1. That'll be on the docket coming up right now, and this 450 main event will be brought to you by MotoOption Clothing. Founded in 2005 out of pure love for motorsports and design, MotoOption has continued to reinvent what a clothing company is all about. They pride themselves on staying true and giving back to the sports that support them. They support local tracks and organizations, as well as maintain a large athlete sponsorship program. MotoOption gives back to the sports that fuel us. run by racers for racers. They are motorsports. And MotoOption Clothing, also the 11th year as the title sponsor of MotoOption Supercross. We thank them for their commitment to MX Simulator professional racing. And they present round 8 of the series here from Orlando, where this championship battle can take a whole heck of a lot of different turns that we've seen already. Whew. Shout out Devin Davis. $5 donation in chat says he hit the finish line on the first lap in 17th, and he'll take 4th after that. Great ride, Devin. Good stuff for sure. And I'll apologize in advance. I did not watch you very much during that race, but there was one heck of a battle that we had to keep tabs on out front. But credit where credit's due. A nice 4th place finish to start your season. Excuse me. All right. Big names in this one. Casey Oler, Dominic Tiberino, Alexis Leclerc, Sabrina Ritzler, Dylan Copeland, Benjamin Saves, Jack Haley, Tyler Schmidt, Nathan Prynn back this week, Walter Gebhardt, he won a heat race here tonight, Chase Blakely, Luke Magnetti, Colton Mitchell, Colby Eagland, Caleb Hall, Jeremy Cohenauer, Tyler Lang, Braden Castellaneta, Braden Carter up here in the corner on the 19, Jacob Hubbard on the 11s in this one. There's going to be some spoilers here tonight. Colby Eagland has looked very good in that 250 East region. Now he's racing a 450 here in the West. Same with Jacob Hubbard. Those two have been very strong in their 250 class. Now, can they make something happen here tonight in the 450 class? Jeremy Siebold, he's looking for his first win of the season. Here we go. This is going to be fun. All right, who is going to get it done here at round 8 of MotoOption Supercross live here on Start Your Systems? It's the Orlando 2 Supercross and Sim, and it starts right now. Great jump for Leclerc. He should control it into the inside of the corner, and he does. Carter's trying to go up the inside for the whole shot. It's bar to bar, but it's Leclerc officially getting it, and Carter almost goes down. I think he might have gone down. Leclerc, big lead early on, and his fellow Frenchman Nathan Prynn runs in second. It's Prynn second, Mitchell third, Lang with a good start. He's up in 4th. Blakely's up here. Copeland. I did not see Jack Haley at all coming through those first couple of corners. I still don't actually see him. And we know Carter went down, so your championship contenders having a bit of a battle as Leclerc skirts off into the distance out front. And this is going to be good, though, to watch the rest of the field and see whether or not Leclerc can respond this week. It was so rough for him last week with a couple early falls and then missed some timing gates, sent him way, way back. He was dead last by a long shot on the first couple laps of the race at Orlando 1. Now he has the whole shot, and let's see if he can run away with this thing as Mitchell and Lang kind of check each other in the rhythm section a little bit. They're still right behind Prynn on that 42. And remember the last time we saw Prynn out here, the rider out of France, very early in the morning for him right now, racing in France, he was winning the 250 main event at the Houston 3 Supercross. So that's the last time we saw Prynn race, was him actually winning the main event in the 250 class. And now starting things right back off here in the 450 class. He switched teams, by the way, too. He was on Leclerc's team, that AJ Originals program, but now he's on the SwapMotoLive.com number 42 effort out here and trying to keep his fellow countrymen close tabs on him. But Leclerc already pulling out a nice gap on that Arminas Jasikonis Originals number 7. AJ, as most people refer to him as, kind of like a baby giraffe, but I know that's Benny Bloss's nickname. Jasikonis plays sim and has long been a supporter of Leclerc's and this entire team, although it was the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna factory team the last couple years when Leclerc rode for it. That's because that was Jasikonis' team in real life, so he just replicated that setup for his MX Sim program. Now he has gone off and created his own team this year, the AJ Originals team, and retained his star Frenchman, 4-time national champion and 2018 Supercross champion Alexis Leclerc, as he continues to lead out front. And this is what Leclerc does. Opens up a gap, throws it in cruise control at halfway and tries to hold on. It is Lang still behind him in second, though, and that is currently your championship 1-2, running 1-2 in the race. So as it runs, that 5-point gap opens up to a 8-point gap. But Lang is going to want to try to close that down and maybe pick up his first win of the season. 3 second-place finishes this year for Lang. Still does not have his first career 450 win just yet, but he's been super consistent. And that has earned him the ability to be this close in the championship. Blakely running in third early on. It's Casey Ohlert in fourth. Colton Mitchell rounds out your top 5 with Walter Gebhardt right behind him. And Prin has slid backwards, now back into the number 7 spot. It's Copeland in 8th, Magnetti in 9th, and Hubbard in 10th. So still no sign. There's Seabolt. He's 11th, your defending champion. Carter has moved up to 12th, and Haley must have just went down because here he is getting up in 13th. So you got a pretty good freight train of riders right here that just gained another spot. Now they are 10, 11, and 12 on the track, and most likely they are going to get together and kind of freight train forward if they can. Carter, your winner at Orlando 1. 6 points down in the championship to Leclerc. So the last thing he wants to see is that number 7 streak off into the distance. Give us a good indication where Carter is actually as he jumps over Seabolt. And let's see if he can just straight up gap the defending champion. Carter, your reigning 250 West champion on that number 19 EVP Kawasaki. Ooh, a little bit off the track there, so Carter not going to be able to get the preferred quads in here. Seabolt's going to close right back up. And Carter a mistake, so Seabolt hits him. That's going to be possibly 2 spots for Haley. Carter just got going as Haley got there on the 2. And Haley's going to try to get up the inside. Oh, contact, and they both go down. That was an interesting kind of lag bubble. That was not that aggressive of contact. And now Carter down at the end of the whoops again, so maybe flustered with the contact. And coming unraveled a little bit there. Here is Eaglin battling it out with Benjamin Saves. So another French rider. And Eaglin, like we said, moving up from that 250 East division to race here in the 450 class tonight. So we head back out front and see Leclerc hitting the whoops. And, even Leclerc having some troubles there. Leclerc, if you're not familiar with Leclerc's riding technique at all, is very, very happy to ride in first and fifth gear almost always. He likes to hover in third and fourth sometimes in the rhythm lanes, but fifth in the whoops, first in the corners is kind of his mantra. And it's crazy how often he shifts, but that's just what he does. Then third gear in this rhythm lane, and he lugs the bike a lot. Double in and then goes to third. Then triple and hits fifth gear to keep the bike level. You can see on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, look at how much he shifts. Third, fourth, third, second, third, fourth, fifth. Now fourth, third, fourth again, fifth, and all the way down to first. So shifted, I don't know, 17 times in that one lane. Just cruising through the whoops in fifth gear, just staying on top of them. And into this next corner, and all of that surmounts to a 59.4, which if you're lucky in your life, you'll run a sub 1 minute lap time on this track. And Leclerc out here making a couple mistakes and shifting probably 16 or 60 times a lap and running 59.4s. So it's Leclerc from Lang. Gebhardt now finds himself up into third. Hubbard a strong fourth so far for the 11. And Ohlert hanging on to a fifth, but maybe not for long. Here comes Nathan Prin on the 42. Prin going to go outside and elect to triple in. So the option here is triple, triple, and then over the table, double out. So you lose a lot of ground right at the end of the rhythm lane there. Maybe all the time that you would have gained, and Ohlert holds on for the time being. Ohlert, different rhythm line here, 2, 3, 3, 2, and Prin clips him and goes down. They're kind of checking each other through that rhythm lane, so Prin goes down. There goes Mitchell by on the 6, And here comes Eagland on the 24th, so just 2 spots lost. But now he's got Luke Magnetti right behind him. Then comes Jack Haley. And Blakely getting passed and taken down right there by Braden Carter. So Siebelt's going to get another spot, as will Copeland. And the 3 of Fjellberg also just getting by Blakely, as Blakely going to have to double the triple there. So Siebolt trying to weave his way forward again along with Carter. Carter has now caught back up to Jack Haley as the 2 go through the whoops. I believe this is now 9th and 10th on the track. And obviously for Carter and Haley, both of them are more or less just thinking maximum points at this point. It's actually for, looks like 10th and 11th as Carter jumps off the track. With Lang running second and Leclerc leading, both of these guys are losing a ton of points in the championship, but more so for Haley. He would slip over a race distance behind championship leader Alexis Leclerc as it stands right now, which was kind of going the opposite direction there for a little bit. Haley winning the Indy 3 Supercross in somewhat controversial circumstances, but he got it done. And then obviously the rough week last week for Leclerc, so Haley, who I think finished 5th at the first Orlando, just gained points regardless. But now it's flipped in the other direction very quickly here with Leclerc, I should say, out front. So Haley trying to reel in Prin here. This would be for 8th spot. Here's Haley up the inside, bar to bar with Prin. And, oh, couple riders down. That was the 6 of Colton Mitchell just getting going. So Carter's going to go by him. And I think Ohlert was also down too. So, yes, Casey Ohlert went down. And because Haley just passed Print, I think he just moved into 6th or 5th perhaps. Yeah, 6th spot. You can see on the map in the upper right-hand corner of your screen, he's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 corners behind race leader Leclerc, who, by the way, is now deep in lap traffic. Hubbard 5th, Gebhardt 4th. Lang, oh no, I'm sorry, I was 1 spot ahead of myself there. So Lang was in 2nd still, and Leclerc still out front, but he's deep in some lap traffic as we just now hit the halfway point. 10 minutes in, 10 minutes to go, and a lap, obviously. Well, for those of you that are just joining us for the first time in MotoOption Supercross, maybe you've never seen this race before or seen these races before. Leclerc, in this series, obviously a multi-time, 4-time outdoor champion. And he's won a race this year already. And obviously has a points lead, 2018 champion. However, he only has 9 career wins to his total, even though he has been playing this game at a high level since 2013. And that is because he doesn't have the best luck in the second half of the races. And if you've been with us before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He either runs into problems with the road system where the track is wearing down and goes down. He's had bad luck with lappers. He's crashed all by himself. It's been a myriad of things that have kept him from race victories, even when he has the race lead and is in control like this. We saw it at Houston 1, actually, when he was in control out front, crashed twice, didn't win the main event. That went to Jack Haley. So Lang, at this point in the race, even being about 10, 11 seconds down of Leclerc, running second, you're in a pretty good spot, even if it may not seem like it, to be this close to Leclerc still, because you're still pushing him enough that if another mistake does happen, you're right there to capitalize on it. So we'll see if Leclerc can put the demons aside, pick up his 10th career victory. Like I said, Lang's still back here in second. Gebhardt, for what it's worth, looks like he might be closing on Lang. 56.9 last time by a 56.5. his best lap. And yeah, Lang, a 58.6. So basically 2 seconds that last lap alone, Gebhardt gaining. And Gebhardt, compared to Leclerc out front, is actually lapping quite a bit quicker. A 58 flat to a 58.6. I'm sorry, for a 56.9. So over a second faster than Leclerc. And with time still remaining in this race, looks like 8 minutes and a lap still to go. Oh, that's not going to be good. Gebhardt landing on the tough blocks, but he somehow landed wide open and skirted through them. Lap riders coming into play a little bit here as well. Now down to 3 seconds. Gebhardt absolutely flying right now. Lap traffic going to be a bit of a factor as mentioned, though. Looks like Tiberino, his teammate, moves out of the way. A 56.3. He just reset fastest lap of the race, and we were on board for basically that whole thing. 2.9 seconds up to Lang now. That gap, like I said, coming down quick. 2.6 off into the tough blocks, and there it is, just like that. That's what happens when you're pushing the envelope in this game. It takes almost no time at all to have a big mistake like that and go down. So go back here real quick and find Haley back in the 6th spot. He's back behind Prin again, so he's got to try to repass him to get into 5th. Then we got Mitchell and then Carter. And those are your championship contenders, Haley and Carter, trying to work their way forward. And like I said, just kind of salvage the race here tonight. Not going to outscore Leclerc, barring a complete disaster at this point, but can do a little bit of work, do a little bit more damage perhaps. Haley just got passed back by Colton Mitchell there. So 11-second lead for Leclerc. Gebhardt now 20 seconds off of Leclerc. Then Hubbard about half the lap behind Leclerc. Then this battle back here, Nathan Prin, Colton Mitchell, Jack Haley, kind of fairly close together. Prin just at the end of the whoops right now as Mitchell enters them. And then Carter getting a little out of shape in the whoops back there, but a nice job of corralling it together. Colby Eagland still keeping tabs on all of our championship contenders. We got 6 minutes and a lap left to go. And we have a couple pots of water starting to boil up a little bit here that could be interesting as the race comes to a close, none of which is this battle between Jack Haley and Colton Mitchell. Haley up the inside, going to pass the number 6, but the 6 cuts through the bales and then goes down. I don't know if there's contact there, but Haley kind of crossed over, and that allowed Carter to close up a lot of time as well. Does Carter go for the quad out? No, he does not. So both him and Haley kind of missed the rhythm section right there, but they're making some passes moving forward. They have lost a lot of time to Prin, though, up here. And then Hubbard still 4th. Gebhardt still 3rd. He's catching up to Lang a little bit more. So something happened then, because it's still just a 12-second lead for Leclerc to Lang, but that gap definitely did close down a lot. Gebhardt's making even more mistakes, though. And how long can he do this before he costs himself a spot? Well, actually, Hubbard was just about to get there, then went down. Maybe battling with Benjamin Saves. And so Prin going to close up pretty close to him now. And Haley and Carter are about nose-to-tail battling for 5th. Carter up the inside, trying to get Haley. Going to be bar-to-bar. Again, I think it'd be more beneficial for these two not to race each other too hard just yet and try to keep going forward and maybe get Prin before this is over. But I can totally see why they would want to pass each other right now, as we are creeping up on just 4 minutes left to go. This race is winding down in a hurry. Hubbard now falling back into the clutches of Nathan Prin. This would be for the 4 spot. And things have tightened up out front. 4.4 second lead now for Leclerc. Lang is creeping up. Hubbard liking to go outside here. Same thing with Prin. And like I said, Prin, he has definitely closed this gap down in a hurry. I know Prin is fast, but this speed seems to be a little bit something else for the 42 machine. And Hubbard almost has no idea it's coming, it seems. Was that Gebhardt down? No, it was not. Faking me out. And Prin, just as I do that, makes that pass. So typical me, going to miss a pass because I thought a rider went down. Prin sneaking up and getting around Hubbard. Now Hubbard getting a little out of shape, entering the whoops, going to try to go up the inside of his teammate, but Prin just around the outside holds it on. So here is Gebhardt, and then Lang. And yeah, that lead is not that big for Leclerc out front anymore. It's come down. Get a good look at it when he goes through the whoops and kind of give you guys an idea. So Leclerc is still tripling, but that's it. So is Lang doing anything different here to gain time? Nope, triple, and triple again. So they've all backed out of doing the quad, but you can see that gap. Like I said, it's coming down. Leclerc entering the whoops. There he goes. And then here comes Lang in second. And Gebhardt in the background here coming into the whoops. No, I'm sorry, that's not Gebhardt. So Gebhardt's lost even more time, I think. Because, oh no, that was Gebhardt. I apologize. 5 of Walter Gebhardt passed right by us, and I didn't even notice. Leclerc, oh, little short again through this rhythm lane. That gap is coming down. 5.2 seconds, and Leclerc, well, fortunately for him, doesn't have much lap traffic to work with, but Lang also is not going to have any lap traffic to work with. Right now, he is pretty much clear track all the way to Leclerc. 59.4 last time by. Oh, Lang a little hiccup there. Is that Gebhardt? Yeah, Gebhardt just went down going the other direction. 18 minutes on the clock. 4.6 second gap up to 5.3. So Lang tucking to the inside of that corner lost some time. But then it seems like Leclerc, I don't know, like this just seems closer than 5 seconds for some reason. I guess it's not, but man, like it just seems like that gap is not that big. And Leclerc, again, not able to get this rhythm line here. Has to go double, 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 triple on. And Lang still hitting the preferred option reasonably, no problem. So I wonder if Leclerc is just really, that's what he's doing at this point, just trying to take it easy while that busts out the quad. So Lang has to hit something here this lap if he wants to keep it close, and he's not. Still triple, triple, single. Back here, Prin has moved up into third after Gebhardt's crash. And Hubbard's still right here in fifth. Carter is clawed up right behind him, though, and has closed that gap down quick. He's got Haley not too far behind him. Yeah, and Haley's hitting the big lines to keep it close to Carter up the road. Oh, and Gebhardt just went down. No way. No, okay, so he's over the back of the berm. I thought he must have disconnected, but went down and lost both spots to Haley and Carter and Hubbard. They all went by, so Carter's up to fifth, Haley sixth. They could still get fourth if they get Hubbard here coming into the whoops. Carter is trying to close up right up here on Hubbard. It's getting close. Time, by the way, has expired, so white flag out next time by. Carter up the inside. Gonna go 2, 3, 3, 4 out. Oh, a little bit of a case, but man, he's still right there. Both options very viable. White flag about to come out for race leader. Oh, mistake from Hubbard. Carter quadding over. Got him. So let's head back out front as Leclerc just took the white flag. Lang, Prin, Carter now. Hubbard and Haley. So your front four in the championship are only going to have a couple guys play spoiler tonight. And it might only be just one guy playing spoilers. Here comes Haley trying to close up on Hubbard. Oh, Hubbard, a mistake, and Haley into the back of him. Almost goes down, but stays on two wheels at least. So Prin, the only guy playing spoiler tonight, and in that case, I guess I should say, is helping out Leclerc, who is on his way to his second win of the season, his 10th career victory if he holds on for a couple more corners. And it's just a couple more corners at that. 3 to go, now just 2 to go. He's going to slowly drive into the whoops. Make sure he gets on that rear wheel and cruises through the whoops. Very nice run on the last lap. And he's done it again as he extends his points lead. Alexis Leclerc brings it down, and Leclerc wins in Orlando. Oh, Lang went down with 2 corners to go, and it's going to be a French 1-2. Prin, playing huge spoiler tonight, is going to finish up in second in this main event in what was his 450 debut. Lang crosses third. Hubbard trying to hold off Haley with 1 turn to go, and he is just going to barely do it as Haley crosses in fifth, and Carter down with 1 turn to go. That's going to cost him points right there. It might cost him a couple points. Eagland is coming to the corner, and Carter getting up backwards, crosses the track on the inside. He's going to get some cuts. Ends up 7th. Gebhardt 8th, and Siebold 9th. Magnetti will be the last guy on the lead lap in 10th. It was Copeland 11th. Fjellberg 12th. Castaneda 13th. Caleb Hall 14th. Casey Ollert in 15th. Chase Blakely 16th. Cohenauer 17th. Colton Mitchell 18th. Benjamin Saves in 19th. Tiberino in 20th. And Sabrina Ritzler 21st. Tyler Schmidt 22nd. And we'll wait for those cuts. Does it change anything? Just waiting on Schmidt. So I'm curious to see with Carter cutting the track so much right there. That cost him another position. Tyler Schmidt taking his sweet time to get over the finish line and jump. And no, actually, well, thanks to Walter Gebhardt having 6 seconds of cuts, Carter didn't lose a spot. Carter had 1.25 seconds of cuts, but he didn't lose it in the end. And nothing changed up front, so Leclerc leads a French 1-2 home tonight, as it's Leclerc, Nathan Prin, and Tyler Lang on the podium here tonight in Orlando. Hubbard comes in, plays some spoiler as well. He's going to finish up in 4th. Haley 5th, Eaglin 6th, and then Carter in 7th. Gebhardt drops to 9th as Siebold bumps to 8th on the Lawyer, and Magnetti ends up in 10th. All right, well, definitely a blast here tonight. I want to give a quick shout out to all of our sponsors: MotoOption Clothing, MX Simulator, Racetech Suspension, Phil Ski and Snowboard, Underground RC, us here at Start Your Systems, OGL Paco on Twitch, and MXS Lobby for all the support this year. That is the Orlando 2 Supercross and MX Simulator. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. That was a lot of fun. The 250 main event was ridiculous, and I think probably maybe the best race we've seen all year. So if you didn't watch that already, I would highly recommend sliding that bar back a little bit and checking it out. But appreciate all you guys hanging out in chat tonight. The donations were awesome. Shout out Travis Marks for that one. Devin Davis donated a couple times. Agra Sixna got in there and a couple others. So seriously, guys, thank you so much for another great night of racing. Appreciate it as always, you stopping by, and we'll be back next week for the Daytona race. Even though there's no race this weekend, we are not having an off week in Sim. Daytona next Wednesday, same time, same place, 6:15 p.m. Pacific, 9:15 p.m. Eastern, live here on Start Your Systems. We hope to see you guys there. If not, then we'll see you guys in any of our future races that will come up on the schedule. But thanks for joining us for round 8 of the MotoOption Supercross series from Orlando 2, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye for now.
There's a distance between us. It's getting hard to reach out. Haven't seen you in seasons, but all I hear is your voice. I know my limits. You can break me down, but I'll stay till the finish line. And I've been counting minutes for quite some time now, just to see you again. And I've been counting days to get away, to see you again, see you again. Been fighting again. We got millions of reasons to let it all go. Hope we're not too broken. I know I'm not always strong.